The views and opinions expressed on Dojo Drifter Live are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of Wusa Studios, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The shows produced by Wusa Studios can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and might include strong themes, images, sex, or language that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
We are live here at Wusa Studios in Pasig City, Philippines. And welcome to Dojo Drifter Live, the first
and only
MMA podcast in Asia, as you may have noticed.
tag team champions of the world.
We don't have Gab with us right now. Gab is reporting at
For work.
for work and for the One FC press con happening in Mall of Asia right now. He's there. Spot him. Talk to him if you get to see him. He's gonna update us next week on what happens there. It's all about Rice. If I'm not mistaken, Rice of the Nations for the May event of One FC here in Manila. But I am Ogy.
Spanky, no
And,
Gab.
Yeah, no Gab. We're bringing you Dojo Drifter Live, the hottest and latest MMA news in the world today. And as always, you can call us through Viber. The number is 0919-530-0020. Tweet us at Dojo_Drifter. Call in at 631-2264. And tweet us your hashtags Dojo Drifter Live, DDL, and Wusa Studios. All the information right down there. All right, so before we start the show, or as always, we start the show.
Sorry.
We start the show with the Dojo Drifter 5 rounds. The latest MMA news in the world today. And we bring you round number 1. Round number 1, some local news. PXC 43 loses
It's
its
happening.
main event.
Why?
Yeah, well, it is
What
happening, but it
happened?
loses its main event. M16 Somdet, the Muay Thai fighter from Thailand, pulls out of his fight
Injury?
against Roldan Sangshaan for the supposed PXC Bantamweight Championship. Yeah, man. He was
What
injured.
happened?
He got spasms on his neck. Apparently, it was an old injury, which happened before when he was still fighting in Muay Thai. He's 40 years old. Take note.
Jeez.
So there, he was supposed to fight Roldan Sangshaan 2 weeks from now, March 29
Is there a replacement?
in Ares. That's the problem though.
Don't
With
have
this late, with the roster of PXC, they don't have a replacement for Somdet. So he issued a letter of apology. Actually, really, really classy of him. Said apologized to the fans, Roldan and Team Lakay, Roldan Sangshaan's team, for not being able to compete.
I have a question. Is the event going to still push through?
The event is still pushing through.
So for you guys out there who still have PXC tickets,
Yeah,
hold on.
hold on to it because you've got a big fight in Ali Kali versus. The name escapes me right now, but it's Ali Kali is the former
Flyweight champion.
of PXC, and this was actually supposed to be for the contendership.
Yep.
I'm not so sure if they're going to make this for the title, but I doubt it since Ali Kali lost in his last fight. So
But it's apparently, is it vacant?
it's vacant because the holder Luis Smolka
Is now
is now with the UFC.
With the UFC.
UFC.
With the UFC.
Ultimate
Sorry.
Fighting
And
Championships.
the problem is also, I mean, with PXC is, just reality check na because their roster is thinning out.
Mhm.
Now all of these guys are, their talent is, you can't put a ceiling on it, and
Yeah,
they've been
definitely,
improving.
definitely.
And other bigger organizations have been, checking them out also.
Mm-hmm. You've
And
got
now
Harris Sarmiento going to
They're
one,
almost
Luis Moca in the UFC.
UFC. So
Yep, a lot of
I
fighters.
don't know. I think we'll see from PXC more news about that, but
Yep.
it will still continue. The event will
So
still
yeah,
push
for you
through.
guys who still have tickets to PXC, you still can catch it. It's still a pretty good fight, and as always, PXC delivers.
Yep.
And
It's always wild.
it's always wild. It's always
Always wild.
fast paced. and you've got Abby Poblador, the main event. So
And it
there.
is the main event for all the men.
So round 1 in the books.
Boom.
On to round number 2.
3.
Round number 2.
I know.
Big news in women's MMA. Rousey is said to be open to fight Carano. I mean, if ever, like her statement actually is that she is willing to fight in catchweight as long as it's with Gina Carano. Would say you hater.
I'm not a hater. She's made it clear that she's going to move up to 145 pounds, but for one person only, and that's Gina Carano.
Yep.
And it's kind of a teaser for me. It's kind of a tease from Ronda Rousey. It's a move that she'll tease the people who want to see her fight the one person at 145, and that's Chris Cyborg Santos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's also a ploy that she's messing with Cyborg. You know what I mean? Because ganito, Cyborg is the only legitimate threat so far because Ronda's been running through every opponent that's been put in front of her. She's legit. I respect her. She's a beast. But the only way that I think she can defeat Cyborg is through a weight cut. That she'll let Cyborg come down to 35 and be so dehydrated that it's going to affect her performance.
And
take
note that Cyborg fights at 170,
yeah,
man.
at welterweight in Muay Thai competition.
Yep,
so,
definitely.
Man, that's a big weight cut for her. So, you know what I mean? And the ground, it's going to be an even matchup because she's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And on the feet, the Muay Thai is just tremendous. And she's a bigger woman. So, I don't know, dude. It's like...
Man.
Yeah, it's the man and woman.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think that's her ploy. But I would love to see a Carano fight. And Carano's really beautiful. So, I don't want to see her...
Get damaged on the face. Yeah, exactly.
And he's doing well. He's doing
on
well.
your point, though, yeah, you're right in saying that nothing is on paper yet.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a ploy of Ronda Rousey. She is the woman counterpart of Chael Sonnen.
She's been hanging out
in
with
the mind
Diaz
games.
brothers. So,
The Diaz brothers, exactly. So
a lot of shit has been happening up there.
Although if it does happen, where do you think the fight will take place?
I think 45 is good because she fought at 45 before. People think right now that she's a natural 35er. She used to fight at 45.
Even in the Olympics, right?
Yeah,
yes.
she could easily make 45, and I think I don't know. It's a ploy for me, but we don't know. Carano's been, still in the MMA scene for. She's been also one of those poster women for MMA.
Definitely. It's just that she's busy with her showbiz, and
she's actually been pretty good in movies,
Fast and the Furious, man. I'm a big fan.
Stick with that, but we'll update you more if that really happens.
Yep. We'll see what happens in women's MMA right now. So on to round number 3. Round number 3. News for Bellator. I'm not so sure if I could call it big, but Phil Baroni signs with Bellator. What say you? This is coming from 1FC. Phil Baroni, the New York badass, signs with back to the US with Bellator.
He's up there in age. Still looks great physically.
Definitely, man.
But with all the wear and tear that's been happening inside, what's happening internally, man, the New York badass. He has, I think, if I'm not mistaken, around a 15-16 record, something like that.
Yep, something like that.
So he's up there in experience, and it's not the best record in the world, but to
say the least.
I'm always a fan of the New York Badasses. He has all the charisma. He is a badass.
Yeah,
he
definitely.
Can just knock people out, crazy.
Flicks people up,
even
the crowd, man.
The charisma
definitely,
with the shades and everything. You know what I mean?
Carries the ring girls
and
everything.
And I think he would, at 170 and ganito. It's just I noticed na because former Bellator champion for the longest time, middleweight champion Hector Lombard.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get to that later, but they never say it. I'm saying when they introduce Carlos Condit, it's always the former WEC or the former Strike Force, the former interim UFC, but they never say the former Bellator.
It's a beef thing. Yeah, definitely.
I get it. I did my research. It's not under the Zuffa brand.
Yep.
WEC and Strike Force are under the Zuffa brand. So we're under the Zuffa brand. So I don't know.
Personally, though, I really think this is a bad call. I mean,
Really?
for Bellator,
Think
it's
so.
just
It looks
wala eh.
desperate.
They're picking up tae.
Looks
Alam mo
desperate.
yun?
It looks desperate.
Definitely.
I agree.
Cause like what's the record of Phil Baroni now? He's or what's the history rather? He's coming from a fight against Nobotsu Suzuki.
Broke his shit.
Yeah, in
Broke
one
his shit.
FC, he got knocked out, and to add insult to injury, pun intended, he got his ankle broken
Yeah.
while falling down. Not even from like from a move
And
or
if
anything.
you guys follow Phil Baroni on Twitter or
He is funny though.
he is funny,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
but
yeah,
he's good friends with War Machine,
Yep.
who's a
They
boyfriend of
retweet
Christy
each other.
Mack. And War Machine,
War
is
Machine.
a Bellator, always a Bellator 170 contender.
He has
and-
another thing going on for War Machine.
yeah, and I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
For
No,
those
but
who don't know,
follow
he is
War
a porn
Machine.
star.
He is.
And don't ask us why we know this. It's
Yeah.
all for research.
No, we
And
just
it's
know
all for the
this.
show.
But they're
He is an MMA fighter and a porn star.
busy,
And
busy, busy.
that news came from him.
Yes.
He told me this before
Exactly.
going on live.
I'm just
So,
saying,
yeah.
because they're good friends, they could see each other at 170. If he is fighting at
Oh,
170,
damn. That would be good.
that would be good for Bellator because at least there's some drama to look forward to. But more or less, it's been hyped up so much, dude. Like the Rampage thing that didn't happen with Tito,
Mhm,
and now
mhm.
Rampage is, it's become sort of like the WWE, honestly.
Yeah,
You know
dude.
what I mean?
It's
He's
like the
been calling out
WWE of
King Mo. If
MMA.
you follow Bellator, guys, but I don't
Wild
know,
video
still
though.
Watch it. Yeah,
Yeah,
wild video.
search it online. Rampage goes wild
Yeah,
against
against
King
King
Mo.
Mo.
Later, we have more on that later.
But
But
Phil
yeah.
Baroni, good luck.
Good
I
luck
hope
in
you-
Bellator. I hope you everything is a possibility in MMA. Nothing is impossible.
We'll
in other
research
words.
on how many fights does he have in his Bellator contract, and I hopefully after this you can retire and just be a badass.
Yeah, there
at
you
home.
go. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
luck to Phil
Good luck.
Baroni on his new move to
The
Bellator.
New York badass.
And that's round number 3.
Boom.
Round number 4.
Round number 4.
Moving on.
Snappy snap.
Here is some words from Dana White, straight from Dana White. He says that he thinks GSP is about to return. What is all this shit about GSP and the drama, man? I mean, why can't people move on?
People cannot move on because, to be honest, is no one has yet defeated him in 6 years. That's true. And they crowned a new welterweight king. It's been 6 years since there's been another welterweight champion, but it's by technicality. That GSP was the champ, but he gave up the belt without being defeated, basically. There are a lot of arguments that Johnny Hendricks did defeat him, but GSP, at the end of the day, still walked out with the title.
Yeah,
Only to the
definitely,
league.
definitely.
But
It's just like Chris Weidman and Anderson Silva.
I
Right?
just get it. If GSP would have been defeated at the first meeting against Johnny Hendricks,
Mhm.
he would have still, taken that, if not leave, but he would have had a reason to take a break.
Yeah,
But not
yeah.
as champion, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
And now,
exactly.
I think the time off has been good for GSP if you've followed the pics that he's been signing boobies.
Oh yeah,
So
actually.
GSP, I'm just saying.
Partying like
And partying and all of that, but I also get the other side of that sword. It's the first Christmas and New Year's he's ever had with his family.
yeah, without
training on his
fighting,
mind.
without exactly.
And that's
exactly.
great, man. I love GSP for that side, but I hate him from just not finishing guys. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
He'll be one of the best pound for pound. And right now, I think Johnny Hendricks has made it clear that, I am the champ. And as Joe Rogan asked him, and even if you guys listen to what he was saying, it was never about GSP.
Yeah.
People think it was always about GSP. It's like, I think that's the difference between him and Nick Diaz. Like
Yep,
what
yep,
happened was
yep.
Nick was so focused on GSP, he forgot that you are fighting for the
For
belt.
the
This
belt.
wasn't GSP.
This was for the championship.
Solid
You
win.
you saw how happy Hendricks was
I was
when
so
he won.
smart to think about it.
Yeah.
Diba?
Actually, yeah.
And now
More on
Hendricks-
that. Yeah.
Hendricks has been saying because he's the champ now, he'd be welcome to he'd be open to welcoming GSP back.
Ooh.
I did. Part 2.
Part 2. Oh, part 2 or
But the
180?
tables have been turned.
Part 2 or 180?
I don't know.
Move to 180. Would you like to see him move to 180?
The people there are too big. I think.
Machida's gonna be too big for him, no?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's
Definitely,
like,
because Machida's gonna win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really just bigger guys, and that's proven by Robbie Lawler, who's fought in Strikeforce at 185, who's a natural 170 fighter. You know what I mean? And it's just these guys are too big, and you have to come to terms with that. We'll talk more about that later.
Yep.
Robbie
But yeah,
Lawler,
I mean, if GSB is set to return, then good for him. I
love it.
really, I love it. I really want to see him
First
back.
time without the belt.
Definitely, yeah,
Diba?
exactly.
Sort of surreal, like him and Anderson, because they've been champions for so long.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what? Diba?
Parang not see. Actually, I
Blue
posted a
corner.
bit. If you follow me on Twitter, it's OGYAP, OGYYAP at OGYAP. Follow me on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I posted a photo of the website of UFC
Yeah.
where they feature the title holders.
Yeah.
It's so surreal
It
seeing
is.
Hendricks there, Pettis
Yeah,
there,
this is the new
Chris
breed.
Weidman
Totoo
there.
yun.
Exactly.
And not only that, like all the other guys after these guys are, are championship material. Din. At
Exactly,
any point
yeah,
it could
yeah,
change
yeah.
it. It's not safe. It's not like he's dominant. Like, pwede siyang matalo. I can see that happening. You know what I mean? In the lightweight, welterweight, and even middleweight right now.
For me, bababa ko na yung hate ko kay Chris Weidman, but this set of champions
It's dangerous.
and they're super, they're like worth to be there. Alam mo yun? Parang
Exactly.
you've got Aldo, you've got Barao,
man.
you've got Mighty Mouse,
And
Johnson.
all of these guys who, there's a 10-pound threshold between the welterweight and the featherweight, and 15 pounds between welterweight and lightweight.
Yeah.
A lot of guys can jump back and forth because they're so talented that the weight basically
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Dapat pagkaroon na ng ultra champion.
Oh man,
di ba?
that would be sick.
For every
Ever think about Mighty Mouse
step ladder
facing
type of thing.
Mighty Mouse versus Junior Dos Santos? That would be sick. That would be sick. Hindi, mapagod si Junior.
Puro
Think about it.
crotch shot. Kasi maliit lang.
Crotch shots would be legal.
Alright.
Yeah.
So on to round number 5. Alright, round number 5. We mentioned this a while ago. Rampage Jackson challenges King Mo
Drama
to a
in
fight.
Bellator.
And yeah, it is on. Rebny, the owner of Bellator, confirmed it that yes, it is going to happen in the next Bellator card.
Just to enlighten everyone out there, Bellator is a different format. It plays more on the tournament style. So even if you want to face a guy, you have to get through someone else. I mean, not like it's a, not like at the UFC at any point you could be facing another guy before you get to the title. You know what I mean? But now you have basically a game plan now. What should I do and prepare for certain guys because you have the tournament style bracket.
Yep.
And now it's so happened that Rampage has knocked out Christian Mpumbu in the light heavyweight tournament in
Devastating
Bellator.
knockout,
Devastating
dude.
knockout, man. Mpumbu's like, he weighed in at 200 pounds. Basically, not a light heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of that.
Yep.
If there was a 195 class. And right now, King Mo's defeated his opponent. And they're set to meet, man. I don't know if they were friends before, and now there's like all this WWE drama.
I don't know if it's just a drama or whatever, but background on Rampage though,
Yeah.
everyone's been calling him out. I mean,
Rampage.
everyone's been saying that he's a has-been.
Yes.
But
Yeah, basically he is.
and basically that's where he anchored his rage
But because
during that fight.
I get it why everybody's been calling Rampage out, because with the resume of Rampage, it's basically once I defeat Rampage,
He's a
I've
very, very
defeated
good step.
everyone
Yeah,
else
he's a
who
very,
he's-
very good step ladder
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
Yeah.
And King Mo is no slouch either. Former Strikeforce light heavyweight champion. Rampage is a former Pride veteran. Did knockouts in Pride, and former UFC light heavyweight champion. His reign was so short. He was on that. I mean, like Rashad didn't defend it. Forrest didn't defend it. He didn't defend it. You know what I mean? It was so short.
Definitely.
Machida defended once. Shogun never defended it. So that was the point na talaga everyone was at the apex of 205. And now, Rampage is just, I don't know, we'll still see a lot
We'll
from
see what
Rampage.
happens. I mean,
I'm a Rampage fan, man.
Exactly, man.
Rampage
He's
fan.
like super showbiz
Yeah.
at that, and he brings it. I mean, that's the thing with Rampage. You can't say that he's he's a has-been or whatever, because every fight, win or lose, he brings it, man.
whether the
he
crowd-
goes for the knockout, he goes for the slams.
Exactly. Whether the crowd is like there's 5 people watching or 10,000 people watching, Rampage brings it. That's what I like about Rampage because he means what he says. It's like I don't care if I fight in Bellator, UFC, or wherever. If he knocks you out, man, he knocks you out, and that's not scripted. No one wants to get their teeth punched in,
definitely. You know what I like about Bellator though, and their recent drama and all this pairings and everything, it's so ghetto.
Yeah.
Like everyone's
Yeah.
African American to be
Yeah.
politically correct
It's
because
like-
I'm being careful
No,
right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Rampage is like, I want my belt back. It's the black on black action.
Yeah, I
So
want
it's
you. I want you.
War
It's
machine.
so fun.
Porn star.
War-
War machine.
There you go. So for you guys not following Bellator, dude,
Give
follow
it a
it.
look,
It's
yeah.
super, super entertaining right now back in Bellator. They're trying to hype everyone up. So yeah, there you go.
Bellator's worth a watch. if you're
Bellator's
going
worth
to.
a watch. That's it for Dojo Drifter 5 rounds. 5 of the hottest and newest MMA news in the world today. Alright, so we move on to a jam-packed MMA weekend
Boom.
with our first event happening last Friday with 2 Pinoys in the card actually. One FC War of Nations, it happened in Malaysia with...
It was televised.
Yeah, it was televised here, live actually. If you haven't caught it, research for the replay. It's a
Yeah.
pretty good card, jam-packed card actually. You've got Nobutsu Suzuki versus Brock Larson as the main event for the welterweight championship for the inaugural 1FC welterweight championship. You've got Pinoy's Kevin Bilingon and Harris Sarmiento in the card as well. So just to give a recap for you guys of the events that happened, our 2 Pinoys lost, unfortunately. You've got Harris Sarmiento being decisioned by his opponent, and Kevin Bilingon losing via strikes, via rear naked choke to Daewon Kim.
Daewon Kim's legit. 'Cause
Daewon Kim's legit, man.
I mean, the
definitely.
hype around Kevin Bilingon, and he's been on a tear. He's knocked out
Santa
who's-
Cana, who
Yeah,
was in a 12-0 record
Yeah,
before
yeah.
coming in.
and get stopped by this Kim. You know what I mean? It's a humbling experience. I think he's released a statement saying that
Yeah.
he's humble. I like that from Team Lakay talaga. You never lose. It's hard. Yes, you do lose. And on your record, it's a loss. But you never. It's like how he takes it in life. Na it's not a loss. It's a learning experience.
Yeah, it's charge it to experience as always.
Bellingon can make 125. I think he can make 25.
No, but more on that fight actually. Yes, he did. He was humble in defeat. But I was watching the fight. First round, super duper action packed, and with what Bellingon showed, I don't think Victor Cui is gonna drop him
Yeah, man,
anytime
no,
soon,
I don't
or
think so, man.
I don't
Bellingon's a
think he
gamer.
won't get another fight as well. Cause dude, if you watch the fight, it was knees all around,
Yeah, dude.
punches all around, kicks all around. He actually caught Daewon Kim a few times. That's
Kim's
why.
just tough.
Yeah. That's
tough,
why
man.
Kim got on the ground,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, Bellingon gave his back. And Kim is really deadly with
If it was a
with
Muay
a
Thai
rear
fight,
naked choke.
I bet Bellingon would win, but because it's MMA,
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
So
If you remember, Daewon Kim won in his fight here in
Yeah.
Mall of Asia
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the same
yeah,
move,
yeah.
the rear naked choke.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't think it was more of a Bellingon losing on the ground. It was just really very well executed, and the
he's
strategy was
basically
there.
more superior than Bellingon. It's like it's a chess
Because the
match.
defense was there.
Yeah.
The defense was there, man. Definitely.
I mean,
the defense
definitely
was
they've
there.
been these professional mixed martial artists, lalo na sila Kevin Bellingon now of Team Lakay.
Mhm.
They've been training to defend that
Their-
all of the other
The
basic
holds,
moves. But
yeah.
it's just Kim saw an opening, he took it. He was the better man on that night.
I think
Yun
more
nga
than
talaga.
anything, it was speed, man. It's
Yeah.
Daewon Kim's speed, like slapping on his arm onto the neck, was Really,
Because
really
Bellingham's a
superb.
muscular guy. I mean,
Definitely,
he can,
dude. He outmuscled day
he
one
can,
Kim after.
yeah, he does a strong 35er. You know what I mean? If he can make the cut to 25, I think that would better suit him. But it's just a matter of tweaking certain things. Team Lakay is lalo na with their coaches up there.
Yeah.
Just they're gonna tweak something, and lalo na with sila more talent like Mark Ediva and all these, the Scarecrow,
Scarecrow,
diba?
Galera, you've got
It's
Folayang
gonna
there.
improve, man.
Definitely, definitely. So more power to Bilingon. I mean, keep your head up high. Coach Mark's done a great job with that team. But yeah, more on the card. 1FC, the main event. Before the main event, I'd like to discuss the Kotetsu Boku fight versus
Yep.
Arnold Lepont. This was another big fight in the
Former
card.
lightweight champion
Yes,
of one.
Kotetsu Boku
Yep.
versus another contender, Arnold Lepont. I believe both of these guys are in the pound for pound list in
And they have
Asia
pretty nice
right now.
ink.
Really
Right?
great
Silang
ink
dalawa.
with Arnold Lepont's hair,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Sobrang
yeah.
wild.
And
But-
Boku's beard.
I actually thought Arnold would win this.
Yep.
But he got tagged and was demolished on the ground by No Face Boku.
Ganito, si Lepont kasi he looks like he lets his emotions get to him. That's when I see him fight.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
agree.
different hitting the pads, but when you're in there with your opponent, it's like, overwhelmed siya with his own emotions. And Boku is like a professional that he can keep everything to a certain game plan.
Zen and
Yeah.
calm and everything.
Yeah,
And yeah, he got caught with a looping right hand, fell down, and there, Kotetsu Boku going for the kill eventually.
Smelled blood, finished it.
What the reason why I mentioned this is, I think Boku deserves another
Yeah, man. I
shot at
also-
Aoki, man.
I also
With this
yeah, for
performance,
sure.
maybe one more fight and another fight for Aoki. We'll see what happens,
I think
dude.
I think Aoki's on a different level. But yeah, for sure, if there's no one else in the way between those two guys, you know what I mean? That they're,
Go for it,
they're
right?
meant to meet again.
Yeah, definitely,
talaga.
definitely. And on to the main event.
Larson.
Nobotsu Suzuki versus Brock Larson for the welterweight inaugural. Why do I always mess up that word?
Inaugural.
The prodigy.
The prodigy.
Welterweight title for 1FC. This fight was like a good 5-rounder, man.
Solid.
Suzuki won, and he is the inaugural welterweight champ.
Man.
But it was a great fight. I mean, Suzuki kept
His
on
face was
kept on.
so battered.
I know,
after
dude.
He took some shots.
He took a lot of knees. Larson took a lot of punches as well. And the only problem here, though, is that he gassed, man.
Yeah.
Larson gassed,
Yeah,
kept on the 4th and 5th round, kept on lying down on his back and
Trying to
asking
welcome in
for,
his guard.
welcoming Suzuki in his guard. And I don't know. That's a thing, though. For me, inaugural welterweight fight, it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was a good fight. But seeing your champions gas out in a 5-round fight definitely is not a good sign,
I
man.
think for Larson, the last fight he's been on the shelf for a while.
That's
the
true.
hard part.
That's true. That's true.
In particular, between these two guys, Larson is the one who's trying to get in shape, trying to make that weight cut. He wasn't busy enough before the fight.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Because I think they
Definitely.
wanted to take care of him. Then there was no one else on the roster yet for that inaugural welterweight title. But we have people forget Ben Askren.
Yeah, I was about to mention.
That was weird for me, na.
It's sure ball na, pare.
Think
It's
about
announced.
it,
Suzuki versus
Oh
Ben
my God.
is going to happen.
I thought it was gonna be something like Ben Askren, Larson, kaagad na fresh out of his
Both
signing.
wrestlers.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is apparently they gave Suzuki a shot and it worked, and now it's gonna be Suzuki versus Ben Askren. That's so solid, man. But yeah, for Larson, I think talaga it's a he'll tweak something. He'll tweak things, conditioning and weight cut.
Definitely.
It's always,
I really wish he goes back to the ring. But more on Suzuki versus Askren. What do you think? It's a striker versus a very,
Askren's been
very
on.
solid wrestler.
Ganito, they've been taking care of Askren so much that he's been on the shelf for a while.
He's been on the shelf for like about a year
Yeah,
now.
about a year, and
Or nearing a year. His last fight was around the last part of
It's a-
2013.
It's
So
a
yeah.
it's a pretty fair argument that it's a rest versus rust kind of thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And Suzuki's on the emotional and mental high right now that he's the welterweight champion, the first ever welterweight champion of one FC.
Yeah.
And that does a lot for your confidence. And Askren's coming in there as the big dog, the big signing, and oh man, that would be a fight. That would be a
Yeah,
fight.
definitely.
I hope we don't. Shout out to Andrew Laxa. I hope we don't get to sleep.
Yes.
With Ben
yeah,
Askren.
with Ben Askren, I hope it becomes a slugfest. If not, it goes to the ground and becomes active on the ground.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, just to point out, Nobuto Suzuki actually has a day job, man.
No way.
And he's the welterweight
He's not a
king
full-time?
of one. Yeah, full-time day job. He practices at night.
Oh yeah, I saw
Wild
that
dude.
pic.
Yeah, wild dude.
saw
Really,
that
really
pic,
wild
man.
dude. So I hope for his sake, I hope he he resigns from his job and just does what he
Yeah,
loves.
for sure. It's like if you think about it, if he trains full time, pa, diba?
Yeah,
And-
definitely. If you have high caliber MMA and you have a day job, dude, that says a lot
There's
about
a
you.
pic of Suzuki kasi in a suit and tie,
Mhm.
and his face is all
Bloodied
still
and shit.
bloodied
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of his last fight, and he's carrying the belt and he's on his laptop, and desktop, whatever.
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations to Nobuto Suzuki, the welterweight king of ONE FC right now.
Solid.
And I can't wait for the Ben Askren fight for ONE FC to, just
For sure.
really, it's booming right
Yeah.
now. So yeah, we'll see what happens in that outfit.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the next card, which happened last Sunday, Saturday American time. We've got the new
welterweights, baby.
Oh, nga, no, it's been welterweights the past weekend. Yeah,
I thought it was
definitely.
a welterweight tournament to be certain.
So finally, the belt goes to where
The
it
belt
belongs.
Is where it belongs.
Yeah, Johnny Hendricks beats Robbie Lawler in a 5-round
So much
slugfest.
news, man. So much
So much news. Let's start with the fights before the main card. Condit loses to Woodley as well, man. Jake Shields loses
to Lombard.
Lombard.
I don't know if and you have Miles Jury defeating a Diego Sanchez and
Yeah.
Diego
And
Solis.
Diego saying that it was
the food.
the food, but
But to
fight
stick with
is
the
a fight.
welterweights.
Yeah.
Stick with the welterweights.
Dude, this changes the welterweight
Scene.
landscape
Yeah, for
so much. I mean, we've seen GSP get out of retire, semi-retire. You've got Hendricks and Lawler
Yes,
fighting
sick
for it.
welterweight
If that's not enough, you've got
You've got guys waiting in the wings like Ellenberger. You have guys
Tyrone Woodley.
Rory MacDonald who ran through Damian Maya.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Damian Maya had him in so much trouble in the first round. I don't know if it was on the same card. I don't know if they showed it. But apparently Joe Rogan's been pushing. At the end of the title fight, he's been pushing for Rory MacDonald as the next in line and not yet Woodley. So all of these matchups are going to happen in the future. I think, this is my opinion, with Robbie Lawler losing, it's going to be Lawler on the shelf for a while. But
Yeah,
you
I
have
think
guys
so
like
too.
who won? Hector Lombard, you have Tyron Woodley, you have Dong Hyun Kim, the stun gun.
The stun gun, who
And you have-
recently won in Macau.
Yeah, you have Rory MacDonald. So those four guys right now, and you have Jake Ellenberger, the juggernaut, and you have Matt, the Immortal Brown. The
It
welterweight
is just
division is
stacked,
sick.
man. Definitely.
It's going to be a hard matchup job for
Joe Silva. I don't want to be Joe Silva right
Good
now.
luck with that. And just this is a matter of fuck moment that it just dawned on me, man. For a time,
The
current light heavyweight fighter and recently reacquired UFC fighter Anthony Rumble Johnson used to fight at welterweight.
At welterweight.
BJ Penn, who is scheduled to fight Frankie Edgar in the future, at
Used to fight
145,
in welterweight.
featherweight.
Used to be the welterweight king.
At some point, there was a light heavyweight gonna face a featherweight. That was sick. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
There was
definitely.
a point na
definitely.
ganun talaga.
Actually, that is definitely a what the fuck moment.
Cheeseburgers and weight cut. Boom.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, so much happening in the
Man,
welterweight
change
division right
shit
now.
up.
But more on the fight. So it was a slugfest, man. Were you able to catch
solid.
it?
Is this the Woodley condit?
No.
There's a-
The Hendricks Lawler.
Hendricks
Let's go straight
Lawler,
to the main card.
basically, the tweet that defined the whole fight was, I think it was Kenny Florin, if I'm not mistaken, or John Anik. I was following the tweets. He said, these guys love the pocket. And what by that, it just
Definitely.
stayed in the fucking pocket. Dude.
And they just kept on slugging
Yeah,
at
man.
each other. No one gassed out.
And these shots, if landed on anyone else, would have
They
knocked
would have
anyone
knocked
else
it.
out.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? Ay, diba talaga on the slow-mo.
Lawler's left hand to
Yeah.
Hendricks' face. Damn, I thought he would have
And I think
fallen
it's
down,
the
man.
first time that they've fought a fellow lefty. Kasi usually you train, even if you're an southpaw, you train for, this is 90% of the population is orthodox. And ngayon nagulat rin sila kasi first time lefty on
Pareho,
lefty.
di ba? Yeah.
So
Parang
that's-
pantay yung laban
yeah,
eh. Definitely.
weird.
Exactly. But what do you think, man? I mean,
I gave it the exact same way. Na first 2 rounds, it was Hendricks. And
Same here.
After that, the third and fourth went to Lawler, who stepped it up big time. But he kept on smiling, man. And I think that the false sense of confidence just cast him out there for some reason. His arms got heavy
bit,
in the
no?
fifth.
Yeah,
And it's the
yeah,
first
yeah.
time he's been in a 5-rounder. Hendricks has been there. And the wrestler mentality, embrace the grind. Hendricks wanted it more. Man, but I have so much, a new fan for Robbie Lawler, man.
who's
Legit.
allegedly Pinoy, unconfirmed.
Yeah, unconfirmed.
But they say he has Pinoy blood. But
It's-
definitely, I mean, at that age pa, pare.
and guess who's watching? Who was watching beside Ronda Rousey?
Who?
Nick Diaz.
Mm,
Who's
boom.
apparently looking for, just waiting for a big fight to be signed again.
There you go.
Because he's legit, and Nick has.
He actually called out. Johnny Hendricks. But personally, I don't want to see it yet.
He's been calling out everyone. Give him someone give him Lombard, dude. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
there you go.
Boy, dude.
That would be a good
Give
fight.
him Maya, anyone, dude.
Definitely.
Right now,
Yeah.
you got. I keep forgetting. You have guys like Tarek Safedin pa. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, so it's
you
just
have-
really, really
you know,
stacked.
Nate Marquardt's been on a downward spiral in terms of his losing, but Nate Marquardt's still one of the best for me. You know what I mean? He can still knock you out.
Thinking about the welterweight division, though, having said that it's changed dramatically,
man.
and that
It's
you
new
have
era.
so much people lined up, you have to consider though, Hendricks got beat up in that fight, man.
he did,
got
yeah.
beat up big time, and Lawler got beat up big
He
time.
opened
Meaning,
him up like this. This is the first time na this was a great championship fight.
hindi nga lang pansin eh, kasi may beard siya. eh. So,
No, but he got opened.
Yeah,
up on
yeah,
the
he
right
did,
side na talagang-
he did.
If you saw all the slow mo, even from when Johnny Hendricks threw a flush left or a flush right, talagang makita mo, parang halos ma-dislocate na yung Johnny Lawler, and
Yeah,
the same would
same
be
time,
said
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
Lawler. And
Definitely.
man, these guys ate some shots, solid yun.
So, having said that they've been badly bruised this time, I have a feeling that these two will rest,
For sure.
Pahinga muna to eh.
For sure.
I'll give them 6 months before they get back to the
I think
cage.
they're gonna issue every time after a fight. There's always a medical.
Like a
and they
3-month
will-
ban on
They
fighting.
will issue medical suspensions, and that means they're not suspended because of illegal TRT or whatever. They give him time to rest and heal up.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Kane and with Pettis and with Dominic Cruz. And that's also been weird for me that a lot of champs have been out for the longest time because of injury.
Yeah,
I'm just
actually.
saying, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a while since we see again Johnny Hendricks. Savor the moment.
Savor the moment. You're
keep
the
that
champ.
title. You are the
You're
champ.
the champ.
until
Finally.
someone-
So many
Takes it
people
over.
are happy
Yeah.
now that he's finally the champ. He got
Because-
what he deserved.
And he said, I like how Johnny Hendricks said, na, I want to be the champ because I want to have that bullseye on my back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Competition
He's hungry,
talaga
bro.
na-
He's hungry.
Yeah, I want everyone to be gunning for me. Wow. that's
Definitely.
Big words, man. Big
And
words.
he's a champion actually. Champion attitude, champion skills.
I can't wait for GSP to come back because that trailer's gonna be so sick.
Yeah,
The
man.
return.
The return
The
of GSP.
return.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, sick trailer.
So now that Johnny Hendricks is on the shelf trying to recover, give or take 3
Yeah,
months
for
to
sure.
recover, 3 months to
He's
train.
fine.
His next fight is gonna be in 6 months'
fine.
time. You have time to fight it off, man, for the number one contender. Who are you seeing though?
Man, I
Like
still,
the number one contender
ganito, I
without the
want-
fights.
I want Dong Hyun Kim to face Rory MacDonald. I think Gab posted this
Fair
on,
enough. Yeah.
on Dojo Drifter. If you guys follow that on Facebook.
DojoDrifter.com and
Dojo
Dojo Drifter on Facebook.
So I think that's a good matchup, but it could be a Woodley versus Rory MacDonald for me. That would make the most sense for the number 1
Contender.
But for the guy in the number 2 spot, it could easily be Lombard versus Dong Hyun Kim. And you have a tragic Carlos Condit, losing like that to Tyron Woodley. Just to update you guys, he's been taking. He took some heavy shots from Woodley in the first round, and then come second round, Woodley hits him with a vicious right leg kick, hits him in the left leg, left knee, but he spins him around so hard. The leg kick was so hard. The right knee of Carlos Condit is planted on the ground. Tears his meniscus, possibly an ACL. I hate to see a fight end like that.
Yeah.
Like Anderson.
Ref stops it.
Woodley advances, and there's more for him, man. And I love the post-fight interview from Woodley, because he said, "Man, I'm gonna get Dana White some Metro PCS, 4G LTE, because, man, I'm gonna be texting you for that number 1 title contender."
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And that's how Woodley got the Condit fight.
Yep.
Texting Dana White day and night, and he got a shot. He made the most of it. I think he still has to face Rory. For me, I think he still has to face Rory.
Because Rory's on a tear, man. And you can't deny that this dude is talented. Joe Rogan would always tell everyone on TV that Rory MacDonald is the first fighter to be trained as an MMA fighter. Yeah. Pure MMA. He got into the sport without a martial art and without a background and trained MMA. And you see it, man. His takedowns are good.
New guys like Miles Jury, who's like that also. He trains the full MMA aspect. And man, before I forget, there's another Korean who's at 170 who has. I am one of his biggest fans, and that's Lim.
Oh yeah,
Lim is an up and comer.
If you guys forgot about that, he fought in Singapore.
Singapore, man.
Yeah, Singapore, and he
gets his leg destroyed.
He got his leg destroyed by Safety. On the 5th round, he gave out the tribal scream of death.
Hey, you throw him someone from the 170 pounders. He can climb up. He can climb up, definitely. Wrap it up.
So yeah, there you go. So that's it for UFC 171. And that's it for Dojo Drifter Live. What's next for next week, guys?
Okay, for you guys, you have to catch the next UFC card, which is a UFC Fight Night. And that is a rematch between the fight of the year, as many would call it. It was Shogun Hua versus Hendo.
This is going to be another brawl. It's UFC Fight Night. I wanted to see this on a UFC card, but no.
It's going to be in Brazil?
Yes, it's going to be in Brazil. And it's going to be epic. Hometown crowd with Hendo, with Mauricio Shogun Hua. I think this is going to be a stand-up war, as always, between the two of them.
If Hendo loses, he's going to retire.
Prophecy. You think so?
Yes. I feel it.
But who you got then?
I got Hendo, though.
No. I got Shogun Hua, man.
I see him winning, and he's going to face Teixeira for the title, because Glover's going to win.
Yes, Glover's going to win. I agree with you, but Shogun's is gonna take this one.
Nope.
I mean, age is catching up. Tanders na pare. Tanders na si Hendo. Oh well, yeah, that's true. But yeah, watch that next week. UFC Fight Night on Balls. Check it out. That's gonna be an epic fight.
It is.
It's just sad that the lower cards are. Like,
we're gonna update you on that. Just follow us on DojoDrifter.com and Dojo Drifter on Facebook.
Yep.
Twitter, Dojo_Drifter.
So, catch us again next week. This has been Dojo Drifter Live. We don't have Gab.
No Gab.
Next week also, we feature the 1FC press con that Gab went to. He'll update us on that. Nag-field trip si Gago eh. So, yeah. So, there you go. Catch us again next week. Catch the replay on YouTube. We'll post that on Facebook and on the website dojodrifter.com. I am Ogy.
I'm Spanky.
This has been Dojo Drifter Live on Musa Studios. MMA all day.
Peace.